Welcome to HortTube. My name is Jim Putnam. In this video, I'm going to talk about all things that I have seeded this year and where they're at this point, plus talk about the things that I am seeding this week. I put up a video earlier in the year about how I organize my seeds, and I do it based on how long they take to become plants that can be transplanted out into the yard. And if you look on the back of most seed packets, they're going to tell you, as an example, this scabiosa right here says 4 to 6 weeks on the back of the packet. My frost-free date is the middle of April. So all the things that say 4 to 6 weeks on the packets are the things that I'm putting in right here about 4 weeks before I'm going to start planting my summer things outside. I hope that makes sense. About 2 weeks ago, week and a half ago, I put up a video doing my pepper seeds and some other things that take 6 to 8 weeks. And so those things are up on the light rack inside, and I'll show you those things in just a minute. The other thing before that, I had planted I had seeded all of my cool season vegetables, I don't know, maybe 6 weeks ago in the house. And about 2 weeks ago, those went directly into the vegetable garden, and I'll show you how those look as well. Plus some dahlias that I had started early and some potatoes over there I'll give you a quick update on. I use the light rack in the house to start all of my seeds. I have a video on my channel from a couple years ago at my old house about how I built that light rack, if you want to go back and take a look at that video. At this point, the nighttime temperatures for a lot of us are warm enough to do these seeds outside if you want to. You don't necessarily need that light rack at this point. I like to use it. It gives me consistent results over and over and over again, and I'm a big fan of that. I've got those lights set on a timer, and so I don't even have to think about them. I went out of town for 4 days last week, and it just comes on and goes off. 12 hours on, 12 hours off. I don't have to worry about it, so I like to use it. But again, at this point in the season, you can probably get away with doing a lot of your seeding outside. On the coolest nights, you can just bring your trays inside. I use these 50 cell trays that you guys have seen me use many times. Again, today, all I'm actually planting is tomatoes. I've got some zinnias, some scabiosas, anything that on the back of the seed packet says 4 to 6 weeks. That's the things I'm doing today. Again, I've already done my peppers, and I'll show you those in just a second. So let's take a look at the things that I had seeded during the year or have tried to get an early jump start on. Actually, one additional thing before I move on, because I always get the question on any of these videos, do I start any seeds directly in the ground? And I do. I actually have a giant stack, not a giant stack, but a large stack of seeds that I just do direct into the ground. And for me, that's going to be, I've got cucumbers in this stack. I've got a few, I do dill directly in the ground. Dill comes up super easy, just seeding it into the ground. I'll do parsley, seeding it direct. Let's see, and then all of my beans. I have a ton of beans. I've got lima beans. I'll do squash and zucchini. If I'm going to do squash and zucchini, they can be just kind of a pain. Like I say, all of my beans, all of my pole beans, I do lots of things from direct seeding. If you read the back of the packet, many times it will just say on the back, best to do direct seeding. And I just kind of follow the lead on those things. I do soak my beans before I direct seed them. So this is a pack of Royal Snap beans here. I will soak them overnight and then put them out, but I'm going to wait till my frost-free date to put these beans in the ground. So that's going to be around, again, April 15th or so. So here's how it's going on the seed rack in the house so far. The Holypterum looks great. Asters, I think I missed a whole row here. Doesn't make any sense that a whole row didn't come up. Ageratum's coming up nicely. That seed is so tiny. It's kind of funny that it can even make a plant out of something that small. And Sweet Alyssium looks great. This Victoria Salvia, which is always a kind of bulletproof in the summer flower garden, is up. I've got quite a few of these Sahara Red Rudbeckia or Black-Eyed Susans here. That thing was fantastic in the garden last year. I think I'm going to pot probably about half of those and just sell them, perhaps. There's some coneflowers here, some Cheyenne coneflowers. These kind of come up slow, get going kind of slow, but they're on their way now. There's some oregano and some Verbena bonariensis. All of my peppers have germinated. They were last week when they went in. I've got jalapenos and several different peppers in here. I'll have another round of peppers soon. Actually, there's another Rebecca here called Indian Summer that's always super reliable. Again, I think I'm going to sell some of those. And then I have an entire tray of marigolds here, the giant marigolds, which put on just a huge show during the summer. On the bottom shelf, I have the dahlias that I do from seed every year, and these are singles, and the bees have a really easy time getting into those. Those will bloom probably from the middle of May until we get a frost in the fall. Just bloom like crazy. Some zinnias, it looks like, and there's a few sage that have come up. Another aster that's just starting to germinate. I did some catmint, and then this is that hibiscus, that mahogany splendor hibiscus that I had so many of last year. The leaves are just starting to turn on them now. They're green when they first germinate, and then they slowly take on that purple coloration in the leaf. But that's where my seeding efforts are so far here in the last couple weeks. So now I'm outside to show you some cool season things. These are some propagation efforts from last year. This is a Camellia japonica. If you followed my channel, I think I have a new Camellia japonica variety right there. I've been very diligent protecting those this winter. Here's a bunch of viburnums that I rooted last year that are already leafing out. But if you follow my channel, I do teach propagation as well. Right here are all the cool season vegetables that started in the house about maybe 6 weeks ago, and they're jumping pretty quick. They've only been in the ground for maybe 10 days at this point. Broccoli, various lettuces, more broccoli, and then some kohlrabi right there. If I come around here, I wanted to show you guys these dahlias. I put up a video several days ago starting dahlias and several other things early in the season, some caladiums, some elephant ears, some liatris. Here is one of the dahlia tubers right here. This has only been just a few days since I started this, and you see the roots coming on it already right there. I hope you can get a good view of that. I'll replant that one and recover it up just like that, but they've already started to come up. I did have to bring them in the house for about 2 nights. It was 32 degrees a couple nights ago, so these pots did come in the house, but they'll be outside any nights that it's above 40. I'm not going to think about them at all, but they are already starting to come up. I basically have a plant nursery in this yard right now of projects I have coming up here and at other places as well. Broccoli in a grow bag, right there. And then the last thing I wanted to show you in this video was an update. Here are the potatoes that I put in, I guess a week and a half ago now. And you can see them starting to break the surface here. When they put on a little bit more growth, I'm going to cover it back up. If you go back and watch that potato planting video, you just keep adding soil to it until the bag is pretty much almost full. But I'll wait a couple more days before I cover those up, and I'll put about 2 inches of compost in there, and then I'll just keep raising it up until the bag is full. So thank you guys for following along with my updates. And if you're going to do things from seed, it is definitely time to get on those things. And like I say, now at this point, whether you have a light rack or not, I think you can get started outside.